Hi, for this lesson, we are going to learn about be verbs. Do you know what be verbs are?
Let me see. Are they action words that we use to refer to bumblebees?
Be verbs are not action words. They are a different type of verbs, and they do not describe people doing something. There are 5 be verbs in English. They are is, was, are, were, and am.
How do we know which be verb to choose?
Well, is and was are singular, are and were are plural. Am is a special be verb. I'll explain why it's special later. Firstly, let's look at a sentence with the word is. The word is the present tense be verb. Sentence 1. Mrs. Claudia is a teacher. Is the sentence correct, Turbo Boy?
If Mrs. Claudia is still a teacher now, then it's correct.
Very good, Turbo Boy. Now, let's look at a sentence with the word was. The word was is the past tense be verb. In the sentence, Mrs. Claudia was a hard-working student many years ago. The words many years ago show us that the sentence is referring to the past. So we can only use the past tense be verb was.
I see. So is and was are be verbs in the singular form. We use is to refer to things in the present tense, and we use was to refer to things in the past tense.
That's right. Now, let's look at the be verbs in the plural form, are and were. Are is the present tense and were is the past tense be verb. Look at this example. 3. Chickaloo and Ricky are Mrs. Claudia's students this year. Chickaloo and Ricky refers to 2 animals, so we must use the plural be verbs are or were. We know that the sentence is in the present tense because of the words this year. So we use are. Let's look at the next example. 4. Mother Hen and Mrs. Claudia were classmates many years ago. Mother Hen and Mrs. Claudia is a plural noun, so we have to use the plural be verbs are or were. Since the sentence tells us about things in the past, we use were because were is a plural be verb in the past tense. However, we also use are and were when we refer to the noun you. Even though the word you refers to only one person, it is special and is considered a plural noun. That's why we use the plural be verbs with you. For example, you is a boy is incorrect. We have to say you are a boy.
I understand it now. Are and were are be verbs in the plural form. We use are when we refer to plural nouns in the present tense, and we use were when we refer to plural nouns in the past tense.
That's correct again.
I understand it now. Are and were are be verbs in the plural form. We use are when we refer to plural nouns in the present tense, and we use were when we talk about plural nouns in the past tense.
That's correct again.
But how do we use the be verb am?
That's a very good question, Turbo Boy. You see, am is a very special be verb. We only use it with I. Let's look at an example. 5. I am your teacher. Even though I refers to only one person, we cannot say I is your teacher. So, I is your teacher is incorrect. We can only use the be verb am when we refer to I. That's why we have to say, I am your teacher.
That's easy. I can remember all this. There are 5 be verbs. They are is, are, was, were, and am. Is and was are be verbs in the singular form. We use is when we refer to things in the present tense, and we use was when we refer to things in the past tense. Are and were are be verbs in the plural form. We use are when we refer to things in the present tense, and we use were when we refer to things in the past tense. Finally, am is a special be verb because it can only be used with I.
Well done, Turbo Boy.